Hello, folks. Welcome back. I am your friendly neighborhood Shotcaster Shargan.
And with you is UB Civillock back at the caster desk with an absolute banger between two of my favorite teams. Trickle Down Economics, Stonks Rising 2, and Rex Regalis.
Rex Regalis, the Kings versus Stonks. I am so excited for this match. We have got our Joshi, our Joshi in the mid lane today. He probably going to be pulling out some banger plays. We can already see right there, they're taking away his Victor, making sure he doesn't get a chance to play that, which, you know, it's like, I know that's an absolutely devastating mid laner. People just don't like facing it. We're also getting rid of Leaves and Jaffe's Gangplank and Bel'Veth. Bel'Veth is a champion we haven't quite seen too often, but clearly Rex is afraid of letting Leaves take it and bring it into this game.
As a reminder, this game is pre-recorded as there was a scheduling conflict. And I believe it was played on last patch, is that correct?
I believe it was. Timing-wise, does put it on last patch.
Right. So do keep in mind, Sivir is still Torpedo Gigo busted. And yeah, Sivir is going to be banned by the red side. Good choice. Don't let that get V1'd like it did for an entire week, confusing all endless viewers. But instead, it's going to be the B1 Ashe. That Victor ban, you know, I'm somewhat of a Victor enjoyer myself, and Joshi, pretty notorious for being a terror on that champion. It's solo queue, one of his most played champions this season, so it makes sense. As a ban, I really like this Ashe from Ultravox. I know something that TDE has struggled with in the past is having engage, having go buttons, like having someone who's willing to pull the trigger, and Ashe is exactly the kind of champion who can fix that issue on your team. Just puts one extra engage threat on your team. Normally your AD carry doesn't have that kind of potential, but it opens up Ultravox to shot calling and playing for those aggressive fights on his own.
Absolutely. It's a very safe go button. That's like kind of one of those things that I love about Ashe. However, I will say that the champion itself has been absolutely devastating for my win rates in games because of those slows and liking to play tankier champions. We do have the Sejuani and the Jinx pickup coming out for the side of Rex Regalis. I like this combination where you've got the nice hard lockdown, good tank front line on the Sejuani with some good scaling on the side of Jinx, able to go into that late game, getting excited from those turret takedowns to do some extra damage. And the response from TDE is going to be a Kayn.
Man, you have that Bel'Veth band away, and Leafman is going to turn his sights to Kanye himself. I think that's a cool adaptation. I expect to see Red Kayn as a way to punish the Sejuani, and somewhat ironic. I see these teams are really exciting for me because I played with both of them, and actually the roster we played on had both Zenzen and Joshi on it. Joshi was playing top lane, Zenzen was mid. We had Rafa jungle, and then it was Brian and I playing in the bottom lane. I know for most of F5 history I've been a mid laner, but prior to starting that season we actually had Jeff mid and me AD carry, and that was partly because historically Brian and I were playing bottom lane together on that old Raw family roster. We always had this meme. And Mark Rafa would be like, "Oh, I can play Nidalee here. I can play Lee Sin. I can play carry champion." And then we would be like, "Zach," and then we would lock in Zach. And then sometimes Zach would be banned, and he'd be like, "Oh, Zach's banned. I can play a fun champion." And we're like, "Cold Zach," and then we would lock in Sejuani. So once again, Rafa being trapped in cold Zachary jail, stuck on the Sejuani. Some things never change, Mark. Some things never change. Joshi drafting you, cold Zach.
And I do like this pickup for Zenzen with the Azir, because that's going to be a nice distance engage onto the Sejuani, which would be able to get rid of the frost armor. And again, I like the pickup of the Seraphine here because you've got a couple of sources of slows in addition to Seraphine's double cast. So you're actually going to be able to get those roots off relatively quickly if you're able to aim them correctly and get the timing right. So it's going to be a lot of extra utility for the Seraphine. And if we look down at these bands, we've got the Pike and the Zillion taken away. Both really good for Smacks because it would allow him to just pump a bunch of extra gold, extra experience, keep his team alive, and so they're taking that away. With this Lee Sin pick, we're probably going to be seeing Sejuani in that top lane, so that's a interesting choice there. Good flexing.
Rafa finally escapes from cold Zachary jail, gets Progress champion Lee Sin saved. Draft is saved. I'm so excited to see Mark playing on this champion. Rafa's Lee Sin is super good. He's an aggressive early skirmisher. He loves to play for those aggressive invades, and I think he's going to find a lot of ways to pressure leads in the early game. Jumping back a little bit in the draft snake, we actually see that Azir lock in for Zenzen, and this is the one matchup TDE versus Rex Regalis that we live in this weird pro player wannabe metagame where Azir's a contested pick for both Zenzen and Joshi. So I'm sure Zenzen's very happy to secure that scaling late game pick, and I'm expected to be against a Seraphine mid. I don't expect to see this Seraphine go to the support role.
Yeah, no, it's, yep, it's going right to that mid lane, so we are seeing that. Zenzen might be a little frustrated, though, being able to, he does take it away from Joshi, but Joshi's probably like, that's fine, I've got a counter for it, I know how to deal with it, and know how to work my way around it. We do have the Olaf being picked up, and I want to kind of, point out how there's a lot of CC on Rex Regalis that Jaffe will be able to just straight ignore. He'll be able to just run straight through it all, get on that back line, get on that Seraphine, and be like, look, it's fine. I'm taking all this damage on the way here, but you're going down with me.
Yeah, Olaf has a lot of tools to gate that CC. However, his teammates may not be so lucky. I think a lot's going to come down to Leaves and whether he's able to use his ultimate to dodge crowd control. Because if you get CC for too long, you're not able to... Whoa, we got a level 1 technology coming in here. I like it. Joshi's a big fan of these types of invades. Look for that cheesy early kill with the Nautilus hook. The Seraphine
They already know. They already know.
Okay. I think nothing's happening here. So yeah, I think we're just going to back it out. But overall, I think TDE gets the upper hand of this exchange. They're going to be able to get the free cross-map ward onto the red buff. And that's kind of the punish for not getting that fan opening that lets you defend your jungle entrances and track where they're starting.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's very clear that TDE was aware of the level 1 invade. They knew it was going to happen. I kind of wished that we'd gotten something a little spicy and a little bit of contesting, and maybe a surprise ambush on the side of TDE, but I understand. I get it. It's a very scary level 1 that Rex has, and so that would have been a really, really dangerous fight.
Yeah, I think something that I'm thinking is that it looks like Rex is really drafted for lane matchups. Like they have a lot of comfort picks, they have a lot of early game power, and they have a lot of ways to create picks. They have Nautilus CC, they have Sejuani CC, they have Seraphine CC, they have Lee Sin, the ultimate pick-making, playmaking champion himself. Whereas it looks like on the side of TE is just a more cohesive front-to-back team fight, line up our dudes, let's all fire our muskets. In a straight line kind of gameplay pattern. However, that doesn't mean their game plan is simple or like one-dimensional, because they have a lot of engage tools, a lot of redundancy C that they can use to take those unfair fights at a numbers advantage.
Right. Level 2 advantage is going to be going over to the side of Rex in this bot lane. Rare Adam's not going to be hitting level 2 before Smax does. So we probably won't see that early engage by the Leona, but they are going to be looking for it as they get closer to this tower. So it's going to be kind of one of those, are they able to safely engage and keep Jinx there? Rare Adam looking for that angle, but we're going to see Alec Battery just walk away. So they're not going to be able to do anything other than just let this wave push back out. We do see that Kane has already gotten halfway through their clear, while Lee Sin has as well, but they've chosen to leave Krugs behind and Wolves, so they're probably going to be looking for a gank down here on this bot lane once this wave pushes in.
Yeah, opposite side pathing means that Rafa has maybe an undefended gank opportunity on the bottom side. Alec Battery and Smax have been slow pushing the wave, so Rare Adam and Ultrafox have not had an opportunity to ward yet. If they take an aggressive
nice
hit, they can
Rare
easily
Adam
be punished.
So low, getting punished for that step up, and in the meantime we see some punishment in the top lane as Biora is being brought down very low as well. Missed gank in the mid lane means Lee Sin's going to also be taking some extra damage as they walk top. Will be a little low should they choose to invade this top lane jungle where the Kane is.
Yeah, so advantage going over to the side of Rex and the bottom side of the map. And not many players would know about this interaction. Smax is a very talented player. I'm sure he knows about this. Is that Nautilus is actually considered a counter to Leona at the highest levels of play, because when Leona E's in with Zenith Blade, Nautilus hook actually displaces her out of it if you buffer the hook correctly. So Nautilus, who's really on top of his game, can use the hook just like Thresh Play can use to interrupt the Zenith Blade. So Smax getting a great hook interaction there earlier. We only caught the last end of that clip. I'm pretty sure he canceled the Zenith Blade engage by Leona, and that just ends up being such a favorable trade for Alec Battery.
Yep, even an auto attack, if you're trying to Zenith Blade within melee range of a Nautilus, is going to keep you from actually being able to continue forward. We are seeing some fighting going up in this top lane. Jaffe doing a fantastic job dodging so many shots from that flail in order to keep from getting that second proc and the slow off. So they've been doing a really good job just staying alive. Meantime, in this bot lane, once again, slow pushing up, kind of just freezing right here around a very comfortable spot for TDE. They're able to just kind of hang out here, get some good farming going. Everything is kind of even across the board, and that's pretty much where I expect most of this game to stay, except in the top lane, where we can see that Biora is taking a lot of CS, giving a lot of CS over to this Olaf.
Yeah, fortunately with this wave crash game, Biora will equalize the CS a little bit. However, Jaffe does still have teleport available, so after this reset and with Tempo, I think Jaffe's going to have a much stronger recall and a much stronger item. Biora was forced to purchase a Ruby Crystal, which is not exactly what you want. You really want to have that completed Bombies as a tank so you can control the wave again and get some damage, but yeah, I think Olaf is going to kind of run this show, and that's kind of just a byproduct of the jungle pathing. Rafa pathing to the bottom side of the map, Lee's pathing to the top side, and Biora just can't afford to trade aggressively, even with threat of that poke from the Sejuani mace.
Exactly, and we can see right here, Ultravox just walking straight in, or getting walked straight on, as Smack just runs right into him. Rare Adam not able to escape, having to walk around the traps, is taking a lot of damage from these traps, but looking at the Eclipse, doing so much to keep them alive. The healing is going to allow them to make it out. That was almost a very bad engage. And look at that, we got the Lee Sin looking for the engage. Does manage to pick up first blood, diving under the tower, taking out the Leona. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful.
A sweet early frag coming out by Rafa. He stacks that kill, and Alkmaar is going to be able to crash this wave with Tempo. Ultravox not even choosing to stay because of threat. The dive will lose this entire wave, and I believe it's a cannon wave. A great early lead for the side of Rex. We'll have to keep an eye on Rafa if he's able to equalize the farm, though, because he spends a lot of time on the bottom side of the map playing to his strong side to make that happen. He should be able to eat his top camp safely, as Leaves doesn't like to counter jungle too much.
I love this positioning right here. Leaves able to go just kind
it's
of...
a big skirmish.
We got a huge fight coming out right here. Massive ultimate coming out. Huge charm. Great Emperor's Divide separating Sejuani from the rest of their team. They're not able to get away, and that is going to be another kill going over to the side. A nice stun onto the Seraphine. Joshi looking to try and get a stun off as well, but not able to do it. Rafa now back over at the Raptors, getting themselves some extra CS, trying to catch back up, but that fight did not go the way Rex expected it to.
Man, I know Zenzen was feeling a little bad after last week and feeling like he misplayed on his Azir, but I don't know what happened between that game and this game, but this looks like a different Azir pilot. Zenzen crushing it and showing the years of experience I know he has on this champion. It's been a while since Azir's meta, so I think he had a little bit of Azir rust to shake off, but that was a smooth shuffle. Gets a clean kill into Biora, and that's exactly the worst kind of situation for Rex. If they're death balled, they're stacked, Joshi can keep getting the Seraphine healing off of the W. But with someone separated and away from that shielding Enchanter core, Rafa can't jump in. They can't get the shielding, and Biora just gets isolated and killed on the side of that fight.
Right here, we can see Ultravox knows that Smax is hiding out in that bush, trying to get a volley off in order to be like, don't engage on me, please. I just want to get some CS. Unfortunately, not able to do too much. Jaffe, in the meantime, again, just continuing to run this top lane, choosing to run in, engaging hard onto Biora. They do get...
And Rafa's here!
We see Rafa is on their way. We could be seeing another dive coming out. Looking for that angle, looking for that side shot, not able to find it. Axe is going to be thrown. Trying to keep the blind monk from going in, and that is going to be Rafa backing off, just soaking up a little bit of extra XP. In the meantime, Nautilus just kind of hanging out in that bush, being like, I know you know I'm here, but you can't see me. You don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. He's looking.
He's looking for that engage. They've got a wide open lane right now. He could easily throw a dredge line in there to pick either of those two members. They are going to choose not to do that as they run towards this Drake to try and get some vision on it. But unfortunately, they discover that there are two members of Rex waiting for him. Huge Emperor's Divide making it so there's no way for Smax to get away. Doesn't even need to try for that. And that is going to be a easy Infernal Drake picked up, as we've got 4 members now of Rex TDE waiting for Rex to try and engage on this.
Zenzen just running the show. Prior to that pick, Rex is actually ahead in gold off of their CS differential in the bottom lane, which has been massive. Oh my goodness. This is a nail biter. I'm not sure. This is such a close game. Gold is exactly even. There is the dragon on the side of TDE, so they have the slight edge, but I think Rex has a lot of scaling options. They have Seraphine shielding, they have Alk Battery on this Jinx, one of his signature picks, so I don't know, this is still anyone's game.
It's still pretty much anyone's game at this point. We're going to be seeing bot lane push.
Cannon dies. Oh, Ultravox is struggling. Look at this huge bottom deficit. I think Alk Battery may be in a position to run away with the game. TD's going to have to really stop him from snowballing and farming this one out if they don't want to run into big problems later on this game.
We are starting to see some clear differences between these two teams in the term of CS. We can see that a lot of members of TDE are behind in regards to Rex, and the ones who aren't usually have a kill up on their opponent. And that is going to be, now we've got a Death Bush kind of hanging out right here, as we can see Rex pushing for this Rift Herald, jumping in onto this Rift Herald. But they are going to be spotted out by the Ash bird, so they are going to be seen. They do know that it's happening. It's going to be a question of, are they able to contest?
Yeah, they look like they want to, because Jaffe's fighting hard for control. Leaves is lurking here in the play on the side, but instead running toward the top side, they're ignoring Herald completely. And meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Ultravox not challenging the Herald at all and crashing this huge wave bottom, and that's going to equalize some of that CS differential that Alk Battery had built up over the course of this game. We'll have to see if they can validate that loss of the wave with this Herald. But Biora finding themselves in danger. Shuriken
taking a lot of damage right there, getting brought exceptionally low. Axe is going to be thrown out. It's going to find its target. Rafa not able to join his laner in time.
Man, I didn't even realize that was killing. Like, I was like, he just flashes out, right? There's no way he dies, but no, he just dies. He just runs out of HP, and that kills you. It kills you, Shuriken.
Joshi rotating his way up top is looking maybe to find some kind of engage here. There's no one waiting for him. It is really, really risky. He did reveal himself, so he's going to just be walking away. In the meantime, I was keeping my eye on the mini-mop, actually, while that fight was going on top lane.
Okay.
Because
Smart.
I saw that the Nautilus and Jinx were chasing down before Leona. In the meantime, look at this. We got this engage going on. There is a flashless Sejuani. Sejuani has no movement tools other than their dash and the flash if they take it. So that is a very risky spot for Biora under this tower. They don't have to worry about the risk of a Rift Herald being dropped on their head, but they do have to worry about accidentally getting caught. Dredgeline thrown a little early.
Oh, but Rafa's here. He has the Herald. He wants to accelerate his AD carry and get that gold funnel into Alk Battery. Oh,
look at this. Jaffy getting hit quite a bit. Doesn't take that third proc, so they're not frozen in place.
They do have Ragnarok available, but that is still damage coming from it, even if you're not CC'd. So definitely want to avoid that. It's going to be the tower captured a lot of gold here for Alk Battery, and Alk Battery is going to be overjoyed at this gold lead. Hasn't spent it in a while, you can tell, because they don't even have that Noon Quiver completed yet, and their counterpart, Ashe, even with the CS deficit, does have that completion. So I think Alk Battery is going to have a very, very cushy buy, even stacking out this Cull.
Yeah, exactly. They've already got halfway through that Cull, and I don't believe they even started with it. So they're kind of like, you know what? This is a safe lane to go ahead and get a Cull for me. They're choosing to walk all the way back to that tower. I was waiting for their items to proc, and I'm like, why have they not? And it's just because they're going to go, hey, let's get Gromp. Let's get some extra gold in my pocket before I go by.
Gromp's cool. We'll see what that converts into. Like,
probably just need like another 20 or 30 gold for a specific item, so they're like, let's just go ahead and grab this.
I don't think it's Mythic completion yet. That seems a little...
It's Mythic completion!
It's exact gold! Wow, I can't do math. Math teacher, by the way, but yeah, just gets the entire Kraken Slayer. The Cull gold threw me off a little bit because it was half stacked, so it's not actually 450 gold, it's a little bit... You get partial refund already, so... Smacks maybe looking for a little bit of a play here, but I think Zenzen is pretty safe.
For a play so much his own, but if it's going to be wrong as he does find him. But look at that, the Emperor's Divide going to knock him under tower, flash in order to we do see Leaves looking for the engage, massive knock, stun coming out of Leona. Good solar flare. Unfortunately, he's not going to find its target. Lee's getting caught as the ultimate gets thrown. Glacial Prison is going to be locking them down. Jinx gets the shot. Rocket is going to find them a kill as they take down Leaves, and that is going to be so unfortunate as we see the acceleration of Alk Battery getting brought out into this game, and I have a feeling they're not done yet. They're going to be
what a scrappy play. Ultravox is not there at the start of the fight, but Biora is. Javi also in the top lane, so it looks like a huge advantageous play by Rex. They have the numbers advantage, but the arrow from downtown, Ultravox gets a huge lockup. Zenzen expertly placing the Shurima's Divide, the Emperor's Divide, to get the counterplay onto Smacks, who thinks that he has the pick, and TDE punishes that with extension.
Bush on the ward doesn't matter. There he goes, jumping in, huge engage. Smacks is going to get the
He's huge.
But it's going to be unfortunate for them as Jinx is just on the back line peppering them with shots. Jaffe goes on a killing spree, but he's going to get shut down immediately. And we're seeing Better now just kind of playing this game, trying to get Zenzen, hit him with that rocket. Look at this. Leaves going in onto the Jinx, knows they want to get that kill. Joshi here, though, trying to save his laner. Not going to be able to. Ultra is going to get taken down before the shutdown comes out, and that is going to be huge as Leaves manages to finally finish off the crazy lady, but it's not going to be quick enough to save his own ADC.
A greedy play there by Ultravox. I'm pretty sure Lees has that kill conversion, but Ultravox wants a little bit of the action, goes in there. I think Biora's is fine. He should just slide out.
Getting a little bit too big for his britches as he's getting brought super low. So we get the nice chain of CC coming out. Biora is going to be brought down, unfortunately, and they're going to go. And that is going to be a good kill for Leaves as the Leona helps out the Rost.
I don't know about you, Shurgen, but I feel like Lees was wearing appropriately sized pantaloons for that one. They're a perfect fit, and he just slats Biora around. He's baiting for Rare Adam the entire time. Speaking of baiting, Rare Adam,
it's not a perfect fit for Rare Adam, but that's going to be a huge arrow locking down the Lee Sin, not able to do anything because he's going to get completely shredded. The huge slash knockup coming out from the Rost is going to do so much damage, taking him out of this equation. Joshi does manage to get a lockdown, but unfortunately Ultravox is going to take him out of the equation. He's going to be gone. Max is just getting his health bar completely chunked out, not able to escape. Means we're going to get a double kill for the Ashe, and that is going to be huge as we see this massive conversion for TDE. They have now extended their kill lead to double what Rex was. This looked like Rex's game earlier than this. Now it's turning around.
It looks so good for Rex at first. They get these great picks, they great setup, but they're just not able to get the kill conversion early enough in the fight. If they get those kills a little bit faster, Alk Battery resets, and with the Jinx Excite, they can just steamroll TDE, but TDE doing a great job perfectly spacing out and spreading out the damage across all their members so that Alk Battery is just not able to get that last hit to get that kill, to get the reset. And with that, TDE pulls fights out of their behind. Ultravox is getting these great miracle arrows even when he's late to the fight. Sinsen's getting great Emperor's Divide. Leaves has been playing on point. Jaffe has been terrorizing these fights. Even Adam has been making a lot of presence with that crowd control to set up all of his teammates. And I don't know, this is still really close because with the Seraphine scaling and Alk Battery being funneled, more and more of these kills, having a 30 CS lead, I'm actually not sure who has a better position here.
So with the kills being so separated and the gold lead being so even, I think what it is we've got so much top loading onto this Rost right now that Leaves has got a huge target on their back. If they're able to get taken out, that's going to be a 400 gold bounty that's going to get put onto any of the members of Rex. Basically, as long as it's not Sejuani or Nautilus, it's going to be a huge advantage for them. They're going to be able to get Lee Sin an extra item so that he's able to just stay relevant for that much longer, or we're going to see the Seraphine and the Jinx start popping off, getting some extra kills, getting some extra gold. That would be really useful for them. In the meantime, the objective control is starting to shift over to TDE, which is going to be something that Rex has to get rid of. Looks like we might be seeing a fight here around the Rift Herald. Good lockdown as Leona's going to be caught out. We're going to see the Smite Steel come out from Lee Sin, taking the Rift Herald away. But unfortunately, we're not going to see them able to get to the Rift Herald very quickly. The huge fight going on right here means that there's going to be so much damage coming out onto Rex. They're not able to finish off TDE quick enough, and so that means that the Steel is basically going to account to nothing as the gold lead continues to advance for the side of trickle-down economics. We're starting to see their stocks rise as this game continues.
The Stonks are rising indeed. They get a huge teamfight win. And with this, they're going to get so many towers. Baron isn't even on the map yet. But with this much gold and this much tempo flowing back them, and with Dragon and Soul Point maybe being on the menu here, I don't know. This is going to be really tough for Rex. They do have outs, though. They have a lot of CC. They still have Joshi on that Seraphine, one of his signature champions. If you haven't been blessed with the Joshi Seraphine experience, it involves him screaming, "Group on me, stand on me, none of you matter," as he furiously heals everyone back to full health every 2 seconds because of the extreme power that is Seraphine. But if I know anything about Rex, they are a team that can keep it together and play these tense situations super well. Joshi is a really good strategic mind, and he has a bunch of players who are really adaptable and willing to commit to the call that he makes. So I think they're just going to turtle this one out and try to scale. They have time, and they have ways to get gold onto their carries. This is still anyone's game. I definitely give the edge to TDE in this position, but it still has a lot of potential to be a banger.
This is an absolute banger. There's still so many ways that we could see Rex start to come back into this game. There's a lot of objectives on the map still, so that means that there's a lot of ways for them to get some gold bounties, get some ways back into this game. You've got the tier 2 turrets available. Should they be able to stall it out long enough for the Dragon? You've got the Dragon coming up here in another minute 30. It's really... this game isn't over. It's just looking very, very dire. The gold lead is only about 5k, and usually it's not until 10k that you're like, absolutely no way of coming back.
Okay, Shurgen, but never underestimate Seraphine. That's one thing
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying they may only be 5k gold ahead, but you got to watch out for that Seraphine and the craziness that they can pull out. I have played that
Seraphine
champion.
Is basically Ocean Soul, but like on a champion. You know,
it's gross. It's so disgusting.
It's crazy.
I
thought Riot learned their lesson.
First time I ever played that champion like 4 weeks ago.
Remember when Soraka could eat herself for mana and then heal you?
Ooh.
I thought Riot learned their lesson when they're like, it's actually kind of toxic when you can just heal off cooldown.
Leaves looking for this engage onto Rafa, be like, no, we're gonna fight this out. I'm gonna win. Max is gonna get locked down in the back lane. They're gonna get taken out.
We're not gonna see what happens.
Then picking up the kill. Seraphine in the meantime firing off a couple of shots, getting some good damage. Rocket coming out from Alk Battery a little bit early does mean that there's no execute So they aren't able to get themselves a kill. In the meantime, Jaffe in this bot lane just putting so much pressure onto Baora. We do see them trying to get that fourth proc off, not quite able to do it, accidentally canceling the auto attack before it goes through. So that means they're going to have to hide back under this turret. We are seeing a huge push in this mid wave that does stop any attempt of an early Baron, though, for the side of TDE. So that's going to be one advantage for Rex trying to stall this out. Unfortunately, they're just losing so much of their jungle.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit starved out here, and it's going to be harder and harder them for lead the base. They don't have any inhibs down yet, and the third dragon's still far away, so that is the one saving grace. They're going to get the third dragon right now, so they have 5 more minutes to scale before Ocean Soul is on the menu. Zen, he slides on out there. A little puck slide, and Rafa not able to find the kick that he's looking
not quite,
for.
not quite. You got that Shuriman turret able to dissuade him from continuing the engage. With that extra 5 minutes that we've got coming out, he's got a anemic Raptor camp right there that he's going to be able to take, but it's not quite as much as he wants.
Sad. This is the miserable part of the game when you're losing this jungle, because like at least the laners get a little bit of farm and you're behind, so the waves funnel in. The being jungler in this kind of game sucks. I wonder how this is getting into Rafa's head right now, because I know he's a player who really rides the tempo. I hope he's not getting set too far back by this mentally, because he still leads in. His champion is incredibly useful. It just takes one miracle kick, and Alkmaar's going to reset and rampage to the entire team on TDE. So I think if you're Rex, you got to keep it together. There's a lot of teams where I would say, oh, their position, this position, there's no way you can win. Rex is not one of those teams. Right there. Yeah, I think this may be Rex's opportunity. They're going to look. This could be Rafa's miracle steal attempt, but Rare Adam warding him out, screening this play. You're getting a little bit chunked out here on the bottom side, so won't be able to teleport at full health. And it's actually Alec Battery on the bottom side of the map. They're just not able to challenge the Baron. It goes down uncontested, and TDE, they're going to... I mean, they may not even lick their wounds. They're just going to run into battle hard, and battle scarred. Oh, that's... I wonder if there's a little bit of some spicy play interaction. I know Zen and Joshi.
Coming in down the Seraphine. Nothing they can do. Ultravox is unstoppable.
Oh my god. Zen. Somebody stop this man.
That was like a 1.4 second kill and a 3-second CC. There was nothing they could do. Ash here now just absolutely this Baron push doing so much damage. That's going to be the inhibitor turret down. We're just going to see now the rest of TDE just back off, retake everything from this jungle. Rotating over to this bot side does mean that they're going to get a second turret. They might decide to go for the inhib play, so it'll be that would be something they could easily do if they want to. In the meantime, though,
poor Joshi, he just gets deleted. He's just a little bit too far forward, and you know, that is the one weakness of Seraphine. You're the best character in the game when you're grouped. You're standing on your five teammates, your 4 teammates. I guess you're kind of like your own teammate, but anyway, like if you're alone though, that shield and healing, it actually does nothing because it scales based on the number of nearby allies. That's why Seraphine can't heal spam herself in lane. She can only do it when she's grouped. When you're alone, you don't get any of that value. Joshi gets obliterated, doesn't even have time to flash. And that's the power of Azir. This is why we pick the Bird King, you know?
Yep, it's
the Emperor of the Sands.
So much that they're not able to do. And once again, we're going to see this Raptor camp taken away from the side of Rex. There's no jungle camps he's able to use in order to try and come back in this game. He's level 11 to the level 14 on the side of TDE. So unfortunately, that catch-up XP just isn't an option for them.
Yeah, unfortunate, but I mean, it's a little too late for Lee Sin to snowball. This is kind of the utility part of the game for Lee Sin. You play off of your kick, you play off of your CC. It doesn't mean you don't do any damage. You still have Core Drinker, you still have
I'm not even referring to damage. I'm talking survivability. You're 3 levels down. You're deleted.
That's true. That's a good point. But I mean, we'll have to see. Jaffe is just being so obnoxious here on the side. He has Ghost and Ultimate available, so Rex just can't find the proactive play onto him. He's just parked here. He's just standing.
It's the whole breaker meta, folks. You got the Olaf in the side lane doing the work of a 5-man team, and there's nothing you can do to stop him without sending 4, which means that you've got a 1v4 in the other lane. So it's so devastating, so rough, and that is going to be second inhibitor down, followed very quickly by third inhibitor, followed very quickly by these 2 Nexus turrets as we just start to see TDE choking out Rex Regalos. They are just beating them over the heads with their wallets. The Stonks have gotten their return, and there's just nothing that Rex is able to do at this point, and it is just getting an absolute devastating massacre on the side of Rex as they take the Kings out.
Ultravox.
Nice engage, trying to come out here as Rex trying to do what they can to finish it off. Unfortunately, not quite able to find it. This huge fight under this final turret, the last bastion of strength, the last bastion of strength. That is huge. We are seeing Jinx absolutely popping off right now. Huge amounts of damage coming out. That is going to be a triple kill going over to Alt Battery. Oh my goodness, that might be what we need to see for Rex to come back into this.
Okay, it's not over yet. They are triple in hit, and it's looking green because TDE is going to get the dragon off of this. There's no way for Rex to leave their base, but Alec Battery gets a huge amount of gold funneled back into himself. Is at 3 items. This is a winnable game. Sure, you give away Oceans. Oh, are they going for it? They're going to go for the dragon, but Zenzen's teleporting in. I don't even know who wins this duel. This is so close. Azir, if they play at maximum range, is going to be able to kill Jinx, but Jinx, turning back to the wave. Can they get the dragon? I don't know. What's happening?
We're going to have to wait and see right now. We've got Jinx just looking for that angle, trying to get those auto attacks off. Azir has not started this dragon up. They're waiting for the ambush instead. The Farsight trinket is going to reveal Alt Battery, so they know that they're looking for it. We've got Jaffe looking for the back door. Look at this. He's just running right into the base, trying to go straight for that Nexus while the rest of the team is looking for this dragon.
They can't play this.
There's no way that Rex is going to be able to take this. They're going to have to back off in order to fight off this push. Jaffe just absolutely being like, hey, guys, I'm who you want to fight. I'm who you want to worry about. Look at this, though.
Rafa's going for the steal here.
Rafa waiting for the steal. Look at him. He jumps over, but Blue Team's going to take it out. But the kick is going to knock Leaves away from the fight. He's not going to be able to get away, though. Rafa's going to be shredded, absolutely massacred by the Reaper. And there is nothing they can do right now. We got Jaffe just waiting, sitting on that Ragnarok. Knows that if Sejuani stuns him, it's going to be fine. He's going to be able to get away. Smax is getting caught by a huge pincer. His health bar is non-existent. He's getting taken out. We got a flash coming out from Sejuani, not getting slowed down. The Glacial Prison is going to lock Leaves in place, but there's going to be no damage coming out as they're not able to find it. Nice charm to catch Leon to bring them back into this fight, but it's not going to matter as we see, unfortunately, Jaffe takes down Joshi, and that is going to be another kill as this is going to be the final end of the game. The last turret's going to fall. Nexus is going to go down. The TDE have won this game and taken down the Kings.
Holy moly. I mean, wow, this was such an exciting game because Rex was on the back foot, but they had so many scaling threats. I thought for sure that they could come back in and use the Seraphine power in that team fight. Alec Battery was absolutely crushing Ultravox in terms of that CS in the bottom lane, a large part backed by Smax, kind of just pressuring Rear Adam in the counter matchup. But TDE, they show up, and I know last season TDE had issues with team cohesion, they had issues with synergy, they had issues with playing together as a unit, and I did not see any of those. Did I get cut here?
Nope, we're still here. We're still here.
Okay. I'm having some minor Discord issues, but if you can hear me, then it's fine. I'm just going to keep going with it. But, TDE looks so cohesive, and they just perfectly layer their CC together every single time. Ultravox is looking aggressively for that engage. Zenzen getting those perfect shuffles. And, TDE has been looking so good by putting all these engage tools on their team. They've kind of solved a lot of those issues they've had in past seasons, albeit with a slightly new roster.
They've done a fantastic job, absolutely able to pull out a crazy win this game. And it's something rough to see based on having seen Rex play in previous seasons. It's always crazy to see these other teams coming in and absolutely wrecking face. TDE Economics 2 Victory is doing a great job to showcase their name. So I am absolutely stoked. Unfortunately, we don't have a interview scheduled because of the fact that this is a pre-recorded game. So before we close it out, Civillock, do you have anything you'd like to say?
This was a blast. Thank you so much for both these teams for playing such a banger for us to watch. Love all these guys. Love Zenzen. Love Leaves. I hung out with them in person, and Leaves and I gone bouldering together. I definitely excited for Zenzen to get his win in because I know he was kind of feeling a little down after his loss last week. So a huge pickup for TDE and a really consequential match against, I think, what is one of the better teams. Don't be deceived by Rex's record. They've had a really tough early week and with really hard matchups, and I think they're going to bounce back strong. They're a new team. They have a lot of things they can work out, and they showed so much promise. Their bottom lane, incredible. Maybe a top tier bottom lane in this tournament. And I'm sure that they can fix a lot of those issues, especially that early game interaction in the top lane. That's super fixable. Those small interactions and like those early game skirmishes were so close. They really could have gone either way, even though TDE gets the knife edge victory every single time. It could have been totally different if Jinx just gets one earlier reset kill.
Just needed that one earlier reset kill. That is all that needs to be said. Unfortunately, didn't happen. TDE getting their victory over Rex Regalis. And with that, folks, we're going to go ahead and close it out. Remember, stop by FOFesports.com. Check out the Connect. Got some great articles in there. Absolutely fantastic. Huge amount of work that gets put into this game. And we want to say a quick thank you to our sponsors, Logitech Gaming, Adobe Creative Cloud, and the Academy of Art. We greatly appreciate all the support you has been given to this endeavor, this project that is FOF Esports. Everyone have a wonderful evening, and we will see you later. Have a good night.
Thank you.